Software Master Tony here, and today we're gonna build a project, or should I say projects, okay, for beginners, because some people is telling me that the current project that you are working on the channel, which is Baby Yoda, is maybe too advanced for their skills, at least by now, because they have to practice and all that. So we're gonna work in something very easy, anyone can do it. These two figures you can build each in less than 5 minutes, or around 5 minutes I would say, and you will use this kind of clay, okay, this modeling clay for school projects and stuff like that. And you actually don't need really tools, but if you want, you can buy some cheap ones like this that are, you can get them even for $1 or around that. So these are plastic tools for modeling that we're going to use. And now let's start. In this case, I'm gonna take some brown clay, and we're going to work the clay in these tubes. Okay, we're gonna put it a little bit stretchy, like in this case these are almost already in the shape that I want, okay, but we're gonna take a little lump for the head and two for the arms and the legs of the bear. Okay, so we're working our bear. This will be the legs, so we just put like an U, okay, and then we take the other piece of clay, we shape it, and we put it on top. This would be the arms. So as you can see, super easy, and we have like this effect that the bear is sitting like so. So as you see, I didn't want to do a time lapse this time because they are so fast to build and so easy, and I just wanted for you to see the whole process, so you can see that this is actually doable in less than 5 minutes. And when you are comfortable with this, you can go to the next level and start working your way up to more advanced, I don't want to say difficult, but more maybe advanced materials and techniques. Actually, I would say that it's harder to work with this than to work with Shaban clay or Monster clay or stuff like that, because this is so sticky and you're doing like these shapes that seem simple, but the clay is always sticking at your fingers, and it's a little bit difficult to work sometimes. Well, as you see here, I'm just building up a little bowl that's gonna be the head, and two little bowls that are the ears of our bear. Okay, so now we have our bear in a very nice sitting position. Let's do the muzzle. Okay, so now we're taking a little bit of clay, a little lump of white clay, and I'm gonna do a little bowl. Okay, I'm gonna put it right in his face, and it would be the muzzle, right? So the bear is starting to take shape. I take some black clay and I put it as the nose. Two small ones for the eyes. Okay, like so. Now the other. And if you want, you can leave it like that and actually looks pretty good. Or you can with a tool, or even with a bobby pin or whatever you have laying around, you just mark the mouth like with 3 lines like that, and then you can just press like I said, a needle or a tool or something like this, and then you mark the fingers or the toes just for a little bit of detail, and that's it. Now we have a little bear. Alright, the second project is going to be a beautiful rose. Later on I'm going to do a video about doing this several times, but this is the basic thing that you gotta do to make like a bouquet or something. Several roses to put together, and they'll can look nice. But this is the basic thing that you gotta do. You just gotta take some red clay or white or yellow or whatever color you want your rose to be, and then you take little lumps of it and press it in your fingers. You're gonna squeeze them, okay? So you have these rose petals. I don't actually have a number of how many of these you gotta do for your rose. Just go with, you know, what feels right. If you do more, then your rose is gonna be bigger, you know, and more like fluffy. If you want a closed rose, you could do less of them and maybe, you know, like just put them closer. And well, an advice is to try to make the lumps each time bigger. First you do small ones, then big ones, and at the end you do a big one and a little longer, like this. You want it longer because then you're gonna roll it up, like so. So you roll it over, okay, and this is the center of your rose. Then from here you're gonna start sticking some of the petals to it and start building your rose. Okay, so we stick the first one, then the next. So I would recommend to overlay each one. I mean, don't put it just like over it, but maybe at the side of it and a little bit of the petal in the previous one. You know what I mean? So basically what you are seeing here, okay? So you stick another one, and you keep going. Okay, you can pull it back a little bit so it seems like the rose is opening, like so. Okay, the last piece I think looks a little big and the rose is already looking good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, you know, like take it apart, so maybe I can make 2 petals and add a little bit more volume to it. Like you see, sometimes it's a little bit hard to work with it. Like I said, I actually prefer to work with Chauvin clay, which is more professional. Of course, that's why it's more expensive, right? But even when this seems basic, you know, a good, nice colored clay, or I don't know how do you want to call this modeling clay, a good figure is not that easy to achieve because it gets, you know, stuck to your hands. Actually, like, you know, like it's like glue or like something like wax that goes into your hand, and sometimes it's very hard to work. Well, you can go over it. All right, now we're gonna take our green clay, okay, and we're gonna start building the leaves. So these are somewhat triangle shapes. Like you see, I'm using the tools, but like I said, it's not really necessary. You can take a plastic knife and just, you know, cut it. If you want to be a little fancier, you can get the tools, and actually, well, I would recommend you to use the tools to start using them so you get comfortable with them, but mostly for later projects, okay? But for this one, it's not like super necessary. So I have 2 green leaves, like let's say, and I'm gonna mark, you know, like some details, just simple ones like so it looks a little bit more worked. Same with the other leaf. Okay, sometimes it can get sticky. Alright, so I have my 2 leaves. Okay, I'm gonna take the excess. So I have my 2 leaves, and I'm just taking a little blob of clay, and I'm doing like this base. It's like a star, you know. I'm trying like to pull some things, and I'm doing like this kind of 4-point star, that you could also call a cross or something like that, but it's not actually, you know, because it's pointy. Well, I'll use it as a base, you know, just to have a little more detail, and then I will attach the leaves like so. And basically that would be it with this rose. I hope you like it. If you do, well, like this video and subscribe. Thank you very much.